Hi, this is Melissa Sanity, and today we're going to be talking about how the legalization of cannabis in Illinois is going to affect real estate. Stick around. So, whether you have residential or commercial real estate, the new law in Illinois is something you might want to take a look at. Beginning January 1st, 2020, the Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act will take effect and will allow residents over 21 to purchase, possess, and recreationally use cannabis. So this is going to affect real estate, my friends. It is good to know that it must be purchased from a dispensary, and the limits are as follows: 30 grams of cannabis flower, 5 grams of cannabis concentrate, no more than 500 milligrams of THC in cannabis-infused products, and possession limits for out-of-state residents are half of that of residents. So, also good to know, if you have property, that home growing is limited to medical marijuana users, and no more than 5 plants and no more than 5 inches or taller. Also, local governments can opt out. Zoning restrictions are always good to know before you buy a place, regardless of whether or not you are interested in cannabis. Something else that's interesting about all of these changes is that low-interest loans for startup costs and lower application fees are being offered to encourage minority-owned businesses since they were affected most by the war on drugs. So, if you're thinking about putting a business plan together, that might be the time. They also say that a portion of the tax revenue generated from the cannabis legalization will be invested back into those communities, assuming Illinois' crooked politicians stick to their word, so I wouldn't cross my fingers on that one, but it's a nice gesture regardless. I hope it happens. Be likely impacted as much as other states were because the amounts that they allowed were way higher. Like Colorado, they initially allowed 99 plants per person. I mean, you couldn't even fit that in a Chicago apartment. Like, nope, no square footage. So yeah, we're only allowing 5 and requiring that it be enclosed, which will affect the smell differently than other states. So if you are a landlord and you're worried about that, probably not going to be the same as like 99. That's a lot. But property managers are now adding lease addendums, and those, can prohibit the growing or smoking of cannabis on the premises, just like normal cigarettes are prohibited in certain buildings. Property managers are adding lease addendums, so always read your lease. But if you are thinking of moving and thinking, oh, that's cool, I can smoke here, double check, because they're adding lease addendums that will prohibit the growing and the smoking of cannabis, so make sure you read your lease. Most property managers, though, have found that they don't have trouble releasing units after people have been smoking in them. About 18% of property managers said they had issues because of the smell. I think that's probably only going to happen if you got Snoop Dogg living there, but something to think about when you're drafting your leases. So, the other thing to think about is, do we have to disclose if somebody was growing marijuana on a property that we're selling? No, you don't have to, because it is not an environmental hazard to grow. You got a meth lab in the basement? Okay, you gotta let people know about that, but it's a naturally occurring plant. The only things that you might have to look for when you're doing a property inspection would be any water damage from excessive growing. Creative wiring with the electricity might be something you want to look for. Just because people watch some HBO shows now and might get creative. But some buyers might actually see it as an amenity if you have it in like a designated space that's like a special area, an enclosed sunroom or something. Since I'm a senior housing specialist, I obviously think, how is this going to affect seniors? And it's interesting, when I went to tour big box assisted livings, I asked everyone, do you have any plans for once marijuana is legal in Illinois? And they all were like, no. I'm like, somebody's going to at least sneak in and go, come on, you guys should think about this. They got little garden areas up there, like, probably should have a plan in place. So it'll be interesting to see if this does affect senior housing or not. I think it probably will. And there's actually a decent amount of research out there that shows THC helps those suffering from Alzheimer's because it removes toxic clumps of amyloid protein in the brain. So obviously studying cannabis is still a little bit new, but it helps people with memory loss. Why not give it a try, you know? As long as you're not near any oxygen tanks, of course. So in states where cannabis has become legal, 27% of realtors saw an increase in demand for warehouse space. They saw a 17% increase in storefront space and a 14% increase in land. So if you do have commercial real estate, you might want to consider renting to people that are using it for cannabis-related businesses because they're more regulated than other tenants. So they're more likely to pay on time because they gotta follow all these rules. Probably gonna pay cash because this is still not allowed on a federal level. And less parking, and you might be able to charge above market rent rates because not every landlord is going to be able to take them right now. So if you have any other ways that you think this is going to affect the real estate industry, leave them below in the comments. And if you are looking to buy, sell, or lease someplace, cannabis related or not, give me a call or an email, melissa@cobblestonerealtygroup.com.